Sister wants to cook up some more Halloween trouble, and you know she's a pretty spoiled chick, so I'm going to let her. It's National Jelly Roll Day. How exciting! Sister, I'm going to show them what I have. This is a jelly roll by April Rosenthal. It's called Midnight Magic 2. Isn't this going to be fun for Halloween and for National Jelly Roll Day? Stick with me. It's going to be a lot of fun. Since it is National Jelly Roll Day, I want to play with a jelly roll because they're fun and fast and beautiful. I'm going to take this Halloween jelly roll by April Rosenthal called Midnight Magic. I am going to make another super easy quilt. Not like the pattern behind me, a totally different pattern. You're going to love it. I guarantee it's going to be another fast, easy quilt. Let me tell you what you're going to need. A jelly roll, of course. I'm using a small ruler. I don't see a need for a big one. This is my favorite ruler, by the way, Quilters Select, and it's a 3" by 12". You'll need a good cutting wheel with a sharp blade and about 1.5 yards of background fabric. It can be any color you want. It's background fabric. It just needs to match your jelly roll. And I've just done white because look at that. There's a lot of black and grays and orange in it. So let's get started on this make. I'm excited for it. You with me, sister? She's with me. I'd like to give a shout out and a thanks to several viewers who watch from all over the world. And you know, I get so excited when I see someone that is commenting from a exotic place that I'll never get to, because I'm probably the most unrequited traveler there is. I want to travel so bad, but it's not in my cards. I'd like to thank Annie Nicholson, who watches from Surrey, England, and Elizabeth, who watches from Somerset, England. That's about as exotic as commented this time. However, Carla from New Mexico, you're a new subscriber. Welcome aboard my channel. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for subscribing. Sharon Nickerson watches from Fort Worth, Texas. Hey, down in Texas. Janie Soito. I hope I pronounced your name right. You told me where Turlock, California is. Well, guess what? I've been to Turlock several times, in fact. I used to live in North Stockton. That was many, many moon ago, and so I know right where you live. Then I don't have a name for this next one, but their handle is Bajatnip. Isn't that fun? She watches from Middle Tennessee. So thank you, everybody. Now, a question came in. Kathy Babnick wanted to know where sister came from. Well, this sister came from Joann's. But for those of you who are newer and may have not been watching all the time, Sister the Chick was a chicken in my flock. I got her as a baby when my channel was brand new. In a lot of my earlier videos, she actually appears. She walks across a lot of quilts, and she's just adorable and cute. But I brought her into my studio when she was bigger. I brought her in when she laid her first egg because it was so exciting. So it was kind of fun. But now all the other hens pick on her, and so all of her feathers are picked off of her butt and her back. She looks really scraggly. So I don't think I'd bring her in the studio, especially with my new carpet. So that's the history of Sister. What I'll do is link a couple of the videos with Sister in them, and she's usually in the very front, so you can see her. She's fun to watch. Then Kathy Schultz commented that Sister's looking a little thin. Well, you are. But I think after Halloween, she'll probably put some weight on. Then I'd like to thank Rita Lay, who bought me 5 cups of herb tea. Thank you so much, Rita, for supporting my channel. And I've actually met Rita. I quilted a quilt for her. And Rita, if you contact me, you have my phone number. I've got 2 beach towels that I'm happy to give to you to put on the backs of charity quilts. And then Donna Jargi, who bought me 3 cups of herb tea. Thank you so much, Donna, and welcome aboard the quilting train. I'm glad you just recently finished your first quilt top. It's addicting, isn't it? Look at me, I'm so addicted it's sick. Let me get on with this quilt. Opening a jelly roll is so satisfying. I'm going to give you that satisfaction right now. This one has a little rubber band on it. And I think this is where the oh, this is fun. Look at the fun oranges. Polka dots. Every girl's favorite is polka dots, at least this girl. Skeletons, skulls. I will remove those. There's a nice orange pile. Moon phase. And here's the darks. And I think I'm going to use all of these darks. Look at the kitty cats and the flowers, the skulls. I wonder how this one will look. And of course, all of the grays are going to look fantastic. Look at the candy corn. This is a cool design too. I wanted to give you an easy pattern that is going to take one jelly roll. This is the block. A lot of you can probably look at it and figure out how to put it together. The quilt itself takes 80 blocks. It's going to be 8 across and 10 down. Then I'm going to put a border on it because I have some darling border fabric and I think it's going to make the quilt. Now the term jelly roll is actually owned by Moda and their rolls are jelly rolls. Riley Blake calls their roly-polies. Some of them are honey buns that are a little thinner. But bottom line, and this is stuff I haven't sewn yet, it's a rolled up package of 2.5-inch strips that are cut from the width of the fabric. That's what a jelly roll is. The best part about the jelly roll is the fabric selection. You get all of these different fabrics in the same line that all coordinate, so you can put them together and they can look fabulous. The first technique I'm going to teach you is called strip piecing. Strip piecing simply refers to sewing these 2 long strips together, and then when you're done you have a strip set. We're going to cut these into the pieces that we need. So this is very simple. Let's get started stripping, and I'm going to show you how I strip on my Juki TL 2010 Cute. I'll tell you why. This machine is so fast. Sister, if you'll slide over to the other side of the table, we'll get some stripping done, okay? Oh, she said all right. I'm going to place these wrong sides together, sew them at 1/4 of an inch. All of the strip sets are sewn and pressed to the dark side. I'm going to show you how easy it is to cut them. I've got 3 of them stacked on top of each other, and I've actually folded the strip set in half. I'm lining them up using the line on my mat, and I'm going to cut off the selvage edge. I'm going to cut 4.5 inches. Out of this set, because it's folded in half in 2 cuts, I'm actually getting 4 pieces. Oh my goodness. Just because I want to be cool and slick and show you everything, my cutter's acting up. I should probably change blades. All right. When you're done with your strip sets, you have a piece about this big left over. It's not part of the pattern. Here's my big pile of those leftovers to go into another quilt sometime somewhere. And I want to let you know that this block can be turned and twisted. Well, not really twisted, but it can be sewn the other direction. You want all of your blocks, no matter which way you select, to go the exact same direction. That's part of the quilt. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to put it up here. That way I always have a visual of how my block is going to be. Then I'm going through this pile of blocks here, and I'm going to put them in order, just like the block I'm looking at. There's one block. Then I'm going to do a second block that doesn't quite match, but I am just going to make a big stack of these blocks. The way I'm doing it is what's going to keep me straight, and that's what's important. I have the stack of cut strip sets piled up in a pile, just like the block I'm using. I want them to go in the same order as the block, so I have them lined up that way. And now I'm going to sew them, and I'm going to do that by folding this one right sides together, and the bottom one that matches it right sides together. Now I am sewing at a scant 1/4 inch, and I'm going to do that to this entire pile. Let's speed it up and do some fast sewing. What do you say, sister? She says that's a good idea. Did you see what I did at the end of that video? I ran out of bobbin thread. I sewed half of them without bobbin thread, but these are the blocks. They just need a good press. I went back and sewed them all. I will set the seam, flip it over, open it up, give it a good press. Then I like to give it a couple of squirts of my pressing spray. Now, I make this myself. I got the recipe off of the internet. I just did a search for recipe for quilting pressing spray. And guess what happened? A recipe popped up. It is 2 cups of distilled water to 2 ounces of vodka. And that's it. Now, I make it up by the gallon jug and fill my little bottles, and I make mine a little stronger. I double the vodka. I feel like it does a better job of starching that way. It gives a nice, crisp little finish. Oh, and by the way, this is my pressing table. I'm using a wool pressing mat on top of it. I finished all of the blocks, all 80 of them, and oh my, they're cute. You're about to see the design wall in just a minute. But I want to show you that the blocks are turning out like this. You see those edges that are not perfect? You know what I'm not going to do? Square them up. There's no starch in this. There's no squaring up, and I hardly have to match any seams. When I'm putting the quilt together, I do match seams. Ready? Ta-da! There you go. That's a better view. What do you think? I love it. You can see the hole where I took this block from. Now the top 4 rows have yet to be sewn together. The bottom 6 rows are sewn together already. This is going to be such a fun quilt, and what makes it is the fact that I am using a jelly roll, because it has all of these fabrics that are represented in this line. So it's a pretty cool service that jelly rolls provide, right? they give us all of these options. Let me show you what the border is going to be made of. What do you think of that? Isn't that going to be fun? I can't wait to get the border set up. Let me show you what the binding is going to be. That's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to get this quilt finished. It's going to be a really, really fun jelly roll quilt. If you're wondering how I picked up my rows and then keep them all straight, it's my pin method. My colored pin method. It works for me every time. When I'm putting the rows together, you do have to pay attention to this seam right here. This is my colored pin method in action. I have a purple pin right here, and I need to go through all of these blocks until I find a purple pin. And here is one right here. So I lay the purple pin on top of the other purple pin, and notice they both go the same direction. Then I pull the pin out when they're in the correct position. Nest it and sew it together, and I do that with my entire row. And then that's my row all done and in perfect order. I have a dilemma. This is my dilemma. I put the border on and I don't like it. This is the fabric. It's really pretty, but this quilt seems so modern. The border is not exciting me at all. I showed the engineer and he doesn't like it either. He said maybe if it were black or dark gray and a different print. So I really think that I probably chose the wrong print. I don't know. I'm not going to do it because I don't feel good about it. The quilt is 65.5 inches wide and 81 inches long. That's a great size for a cuddle quilt. I think for now I'm going to leave it. So this means this is done. It's over. It's the flipping into the video. I've never done this before. I'm always so sure of what I want. Well, except when I'm not. But yeah, fun pattern, huh? Great jelly roll pattern. It's modern. And we need a thin border if we're going to do a border that's black or gray, which I don't have the fabric. So I'm not going to put a 3-inch orange flowery border on this quilt. It just won't take it. Sister and I want to thank you for tuning in and watching our video. I really appreciate it. If you like my videos, you guys know what to do, right? The big S, you know? Yeah, you got it. Next week, I'm going to have a really fun video. Not going to be Halloween. I'm done with Halloween. I'll give you a hint. There's a lot of different kinds of fabric in it. Does that tell you what I'm doing? Well, if it doesn't, you're going to have to wait until next week. So until then, bye. See you then.